o'clock somewhere.
Yep. Hey, everybody. What kind of weeks everybody been having? We've had a pretty busy week.
Yeah, pretty busy week.
Yep. So here it is, Sunday, 4 o'clock.
Oklahoma and Indiana, they're in the house.
Nice. Denellen.
Ah,
We were
all
just
right.
near there.
Yep, Denellen.
I love the Publix in Denellen.
Yep, the Publix is good. It's one of the better ones in that area because the district manager lives in that area. So that store is extra clean,
That's what I heard.
extra employees, extra stock. So we
That
always
is
like
what I
going to
heard.
that one. Yep.
So what's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't
You
know.
were in Tubetown.
I was in Tubetown this week. So
and
were you.
There was another with the mayor of Tubetown, and I guess we don't know who the mayor of Tubetown is or should be.
Right? Because if anything, that just evened it up, and still now there needs to be another game.
That's correct. Yeah.
I think this light is messing with my glasses, so I'm going to take them off.
Okay.
Because it's bugging me out. But yeah, we had so much fun in Tubetown. It's always great fun when we get to stop in Otter Creek anyway and see all our friends.
Yeah.
I do love seeing everybody, and we have so much fun with Travis and Jeremy and George and Deanna. So, hi, Tricky.
Hey, Tricky. Thanks for joining us.
So,
Hey, so in our travels, before we tell you where we are, and we did decide we'll tell you where we are because we don't want crazies following us, but we're kind of in an area that's
you have such terminology.
way off the beaten path.
Sure, buddy.
So, we went to church. Let me ask you this question first. Do some of you remember the old TV series Walton's or Walton's Mountain? I think it was called The Waltons. TV show about 8 people.
Like Debbie telling you about the Braves score.
I was just looking up the Braves score. They were down 3-1. I'm like, oh, they're going to lose 2 in a row.
Sorry.
Good, they tied it up. Awesome. So what I was saying, any of you guys just reply in the chat with a Y if you remember Walton's.
Yep, they're talking about John Boy.
Okay,
Yeah,
John
they
Boy.
remember.
Well, guess what? We are here on Walton's Mountain,
Yeah.
known as Schuyler, Virginia. It's spelled funny. It's spelled Schuyler, but it's pronounced Schuyler.
And it is so peaceful here, y'all.
Peaceful. It is quiet.
Good internet.
Oh, the internet's awesome. I
Yeah.
was so surprised. I was like, oh, what's the internet going to be like? So we're scrambling to try to get the video edited while we were in the last town, I think Danville. So we drove straight up from Otter Creek to Danville, Virginia, the first night. And we could have gotten all the way here, but we didn't want to roll in that late. So we just decided to overnight, in a parking lot. Got us some gas at Sam's Club, which we've hit 2 Sam's Clubs, and we got good gas prices there.
Gotta love Sam's Club.
Yeah, and we did some boondock camping to save on, camp fees. Since we didn't need it, you're not going to be there long. You're just going to be there to overnight.
Plus, you don't want to roll up into a place when
Yeah.
it's dark out and
And the roads.
disturb everybody and you can't see what's going on.
We knew this was going to be a windy road coming in here, so we didn't want to do it at night. We just didn't want to, didn't have to. So we try to minimize risk.
It is very gorgeous here.
Gorgeous here, and
the
yes,
people are fantastic.
everybody waves.
Yeah, everybody waves at you. We're not used to that. In
In
Florida, you get the one finger
You get the
salute
one finger salute
a lot. So, and someone was asking what the gas prices are here.
Here in Schuyler, I don't know, but the last
Probably a little bit more because it's a small town.
Yeah, it's a small town, but I think it was like $4.59 at the store down here. But I wouldn't buy gas right down the road anyway. I can't remember our last Sam's Club gas was. It wasn't bad. I think it was around $3.75, $3.80.
I think that's about
somewhere
right,
in there. It was
I recall.
about 20 cents under $4. So we're happy with that. So we got to go to church this morning in the same Baptist church that John Boyd and the Waltons went to when he was growing up.
Yeah, beautiful church.
It was pretty neat.
Such nice people there. It's been a great experience. Just getting to talk to a lot of the people is great.
Mm-hmm.
They're so nice and down to earth, and it's it's the country feel.
Yeah, it's the country
The
feel.
small
yeah.
town country feel. It's very nice. So we're blessed to be here. We're blessed to be able to visit with family and meet new people.
Mm-hmm. Now
God is good.
back in the old days, this area, Schuyler and the surrounding area, was, now I didn't know this, I had to learn this. This area was known back in the day for bootlegged moonshine. So there is still a lot of moonshine readily available in the area.
And
That's all I'll
soapstone,
say.
right?
And soapstone. There used to be a soapstone factory, if you will. I don't know if it is like a factory. They did work with soapstone, but it has since closed. They used to have 4,000 people.
Yeah, so it was a big
in this
bustling
area.
town.
It was a big bustling town, much like Otter Creek when they had the clamshell factory and the
Right.
lumber yards and all that. But a lot of them left. Schuyler's bigger in area than Otter Creek. I mean,
Yes,
it's pretty
yes.
big. You can drive 10, 15 minutes and still be in Schuyler if you go in the one direction. But it's very windy roads. These roads, you're going to hear traffic. We apologize for the traffic that drives by because we are camped on the road because it's the only flat spot on this property that we're
Yeah.
staying at.
There's
So-
not much flat when you're, going
Yeah.
through the hills and the mountains.
I
So
can't even put my awning out because it would be in traffic. So, but you can see behind us, we left the shade up because it is hot today. It's been a high of 66, which was great. We
yeah,
put on
we had
sweats.
to bust out the jackets
We had to bust
and the
out
sweats.
the sweats. This
And now
thing's-
today it's like we're in Florida.
Yeah, today is like 85, so
So-
it's hot.
You got to roll with it.
So yeah.
So, but we are blessed and we're so happy to be able to get to talk to y'all and see all the people we're seeing and, what are our subscribers? I feel so blessed.
Yeah.
I think it's 30,000,
We're at
around
30,731
So
when we started here today. So
thank you all.
30.7.
We're glad you
We're
guys
glad you guys are helping
joining
us
us.
out. Yes.
So it's super sweet. I did work a little bit on starting the memberships because a lot of people were asking about that. And we're just doing something small to start out with and we'll see how it goes. I obviously don't want to put too much to where I couldn't deliver. So we're just probably going to start out with maybe one level or something
Right.
to start with because some people wanted to know how they could help the channel and what they could do. So I did put in for that and we're waiting to hear back. You got to go through a process where they approve everything. So probably sometime this week we'll be able to do that. And when we do, we'll put out a little post to let you know. And we just appreciate all the love everybody gives us,
Hi,
all the
Winnie.
support. I know we do have 2 pieces of mail to open because we
Oh,
do
yeah.
have an Amazon wish list.
Mhm.
I know it's hard for us because we're always moving around. So we do have 2 things that some beautiful people sent us off the Amazon wish list, and we're very thankful for that.
The people are asking about the cops at Tubetown. The cops didn't come for anything that was going on at Tubetown. They came for the Lynette and John Crook.
Yeah,
across the
they went
street.
across the street, so we didn't know if
What was
they
going
had
on.
called the police on us or
Right. We
whatever.
thought they called the cops on us and they were going to come talk to us after they talked to them.
Yeah, because you
Right.
never know around there what people's thought processes are. So they did show up and they didn't come over to
Mhm.
our side of the street. And we were hoping they were going to come play cornhole or something with
Yeah,
us.
we
but
asked him, but
they
he
didn't.
He
Or excuse
so.
me, mole.
Mohole.
But they did not come over. So I'm not really sure what they were there for. Your guess is as good as
Yeah.
mine at this point.
Maybe a health and welfare check for the turtles. And hopefully
I
for the little
hope.
girl, maybe.
I hope. I know when we got there, their dogs came running across the road
Oh yeah, right away. As soon as we pulled up,
to
their
meet
dogs
us.
came over.
Which, those dogs do know us.
She goes, "You know who those dogs belong to, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I know who they are."
But, according to some of her posts, somebody said that they thought those dogs were eaten by coyotes or
Yeah.
something like that. She had posted that, but
Debunk.
I guess not.
We don't say that enough. Debunk.
Debunk that. So
Yeah.
the dogs are alive and well, and they are cute dogs. It's a shame they just run out in the road like that. So I hope
Oh, they said Jeremy said that they were served with papers. They may
Oh.
have been.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
hadn't
we
been
were
alerted
traveling,
to
so
that.
we didn't keep up on
He did
that
kind of
part
look
of the
like an
story.
administrative guy. I mean, he was a little
older, and
older, and
you know, his car was really clean.
yeah,
so,
the car was clean.
You
That's
know,
all
that's
I'll
usually
say.
an indicator that it may be an administrative person.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Yeah, the dogs might have been trying to escape, but they're cute. I hope nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
So,
You want to start with the mail so we can
okay. Are you gonna sing?
thank our fans? I have no musical talent, so don't expect that on this channel.
I'm not gonna do some headbanging. We've got mail.
We've got
mail. No, that's not gonna happen.
No, we're just going to open the mail and thank these people for us.
I might have given myself whiplash there.
Oh, my neck. I pulled the neck muscle.
So the first thing we got in the mail, which was really sweet, and these are little microphone furry windscreen covers, because we do have on our list
And you don't
some
know- you
lapel
don't know who they're from,
microphones.
do you?
Yes, this does
okay.
say, enjoy your gift from Jackie.
Oh, well, thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
We appreciate you.
And those will come in handy. I still do got to get the lapel microphones that they go with, but when we get those, they go right on there, and it's supposed to help with the sound, so you don't have too much wind.
What's the little fuzzy covers
They're
for
little
the mic?
fuzzies.
Little fuzzies.
You can put them on your ears for now if you want.
Yeah, I guess you could.
I guess you have enough hair growing in there. You don't need any extras.
That's not true.
So what else do we have? And this one, I don't even know who it's from, because it
We
did
don't know
not
who it's
have-
from, and it blew my mind. I'm like, nobody needs to spend this much money. You know, this is love. This is, you know, this is great. This is all we're really.
Well, this was a bargain. It was a bargain price.
Oh, was it?
Of course. It's not like one of those ones that cost hundreds of dollars.
Okay.
But look at this. I am so thankful.
And
I don't care what
espresso
Brett
and
says.
cappuccino
I
maker.
so much. So
She'll use this. I like it too.
when I
I
got
drink
this,
coffee.
I hugged it just like this. I'm like, this is love right here. Cafe con leche all the time.
Cafe con leche in a box.
So I'm so thankful to whomever got me this. I don't know who, because there was no name in the box.
Yeah, so if you're watching,
I'm
let us
so
know.
thankful, and give it a big hug. Give you a big hug. Very thankful.
Yep, we want to give you, you know, who bought that, their accolades. So, you know, let us know who you are so we can mention your name.
It warms my heart for all the love everybody gives us. Do I still have that finger that was won at half
No
mil?
time ago.
Actually, my son is the one who won that. I went
Oh,
up there
yeah, that's
and
right.
claimed it for him because he didn't want to go
Yeah.
up there in front of everybody. But yes, he does still have that.
Yep.
So I did keep it for a while he was moving, but now he has that with him. And I thought it was funny that he was the one who won that when we were there, though. What are the odds?
Yeah, that was,
So
that was weird.
it was not planned. But yes, my son does have that piece of the finger. He thought it was so funny. So all the funny things.
So we do have a few questions that we've written down that you guys have sent us. Hi guys from Alaska. Hey, we're headed. We're not headed directly. We got a couple stops along the way.
You've got questions?
I got questions. Someone asked, what's been your favorite spot so far? Now, we've only just started the journey. We just left Otter Creek. Now, from Otter Creek, we did go to Jacksonville for a short trip, and then we did go down to Key West for a trip and came back.
So we don't have too many
so
places
we don't
to
have
talk
too many
about
places
yet.
to talk about.
But
However,
thank you so much, Alice. That is so very sweet of you.
bark, bark, bark. Thanks, Alice.
Uh-oh. Don't come after me, chicken head. We really appreciate that.
I dropped my notes.
He was so startled that was just so sweet and unexpected. He dropped his whole
I know.
book of notes.
It went across the whole screen. I was like, oh.
Thank you.
I'd
We
say
appreciate
it
you.
depends on what you like. I really like it here so far. I mean,
He loves the mountains so much
like
more
mountains.
than the beach, which
mhm.
I love the mountains too. I love the beach as well. But if I had to pick between the two, I probably would say I'd take mountains over the beach. But beach is my second favorite. So if we could just snowbird back and forth between mountains and beach, I'd be one happy camper.
So if I had to summarize, Key West was great, and we had a beautiful campsite. Um, I think a lot of the attractions are overpriced. They're fun, but they're overpriced. I think that area is um, a tourist trap, so to speak. Now, there's some nice things you can do that don't cost money.
I think you just need to know how to plan when you go there, because everything everywhere you go is expensive anyway, right?
They are.
But not, you don't have to do everything. You just got to plan very well. And when I grew up in the Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood area, when we went down to the Keys, we didn't do any of the tourist things. We went fishing all the time.
Mhm.
We went to a few key places, different restaurants, but we didn't go to the museums and all those different things because that can get expensive. But by all means, if those are things you're interested in, you must plan for it and try to find the deals that you can. But I loved the Keys. I had a lot of fun. It was so laid back, and I loved being on the base.
Yeah, I like some of the other Keys better than Key West.
Yeah, I love Marathon.
Yeah, Marathon's nice, and we didn't take the Jeep, so from the campsite we couldn't drive back up the chain.
Yeah,
You know.
so next season I do want to
We may
go
take
there
the Jeep
again,
next
and
time.
we will absolutely take the Jeep this time because there's so much more to the Keys than Key West.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go back there.
Somebody asked if we did the Adirondacks in New York.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't either. I haven't ventured
fun.
much outside of Maine. I have not really been north of the Mason-Dixon line on the East Coast.
There are so many places to go. I have
Yeah.
so many places on my list. And like I said, because we started this season a little bit later, we're not going to be able to hit all the places I wanted to hit on the way up to Alaska. But, you know, there's always next year or the way back. So the journey's just starting.
Yeah,
So.
and there, a fan said something about Isla Morada. We like that one. There's
Oh yeah, I
something
love
there we
Isla
wanna go
Morada.
to.
There's the
What is it?
I can't even speak. The restaurant is delicious, and then there's like
There's
it's
that.
a Bass Pro, but it's not named Bass Pro.
Okay.
But it's the same kind of sort of.
All right, that'd be cool to see.
So, but Isla Morada is fun. That's a
Mhm.
good place. I've been there before. They even have a Isla Morada restaurant in Dania,
Oh,
where the
okay.
fishing museum and the Bass Pro is.
So we still have a lot of videos to get out to you guys that we haven't
Yeah,
pushed them out
they'll
yet.
trickle out.
They'll trickle out, but we visited Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor in Dania. We visited, we went to a baseball game, although you can't really video stuff in there. What was the other thing?
La Spada
The
subs.
Spada subs was amazing.
So we have a few little
Little
things that
shorter
will come
videos
out in
that'll come
time.
out. Yeah,
People are asking if you've ever been to Georgia.
I have. My cousins live in Georgia in Savannah, but she used to live over near Macon, so we've been up in that area.
Yeah,
a
I've
lot.
been there when I was younger. I lived there maybe for 3 months. It was just a short little stint, and then I came back home to Florida.
When I was younger, I lived in Virginia, and our family traveled at least once every couple years down to Brunswick, which is where my cousins were living at the time. But they still live in Georgia. They live in Savannah now.
Another important thing people were asking about was your eye appointments.
Oh, so my eye appointment actually went great. So the reason that the first eye doctor sent us to a specialist is because he thought he saw some scarring.
Yes.
So he needed like a second opinion. So I went to the specialist, and he saw some scarring as well. But they can't measure the depth of the scarring in order to determine what caused the scarring. So he referred me to another specialist, which is normally a 9-month waiting list to get to even see that guy. I'm like, 9 months ain't gonna work. I said, we need something faster. So we got one about a month out, and that specialist didn't see any scarring. He says, you don't have any scarring going on. I don't know what they were seeing, but whatever they were seeing, it's gone now.
So I say the power of prayer does work.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of praying, and
two
I'm sure
specialists said there
other
was
people
scarring.
prayed as well. And I appreciate everyone who did, because I do believe in the power of prayer, and I'm thankful for that.
51 degrees in Anchorage. That's my
Woo-hoo!
weather. That's coffee weather right there.
Yeah. Love me some coffee in the cool weather, so I'm excited.
So to answer your question about the favorite spot, so far I like it. I think I like it here better. But Key West, I can see the attractions there too.
Yeah, I like them both for different reasons. Here is just so peaceful and nice people. I see a lot of people asking also for your next question. But yeah, I would say I like both these locations for some different reasons. I like the Keys for the laid back beach feel, and I like here because it's very peaceful and so many friendly people, and it kind of feels like, you know, you're at home. But people were asking if we have a budget every day.
We don't have a daily budget, but we do budget for gas stops. This motorhome has an oversized tank that was put on it before we bought it. So instead of it holding the 24.5 gallons it's stocked with, it holds 47 gallons. So that gives us about a 600-mile range, which is pretty good. So that enables us to stop at the less expensive gas stations. Man, excuse me.
All this mountain air.
Yeah, the fresh mountain air is bringing up stuff. Otter Creek stuff.
And we don't eat out that much.
Yeah,
we try to plan most of our meals at the camper. We do eat out a little bit, but we try to keep it on the cheap side and just in like emergency situations.
We know it's going to cost us some campgrounds, and we know it's going to cost us gas. And the gas is going to be our biggest expense, as we are now starting to travel nearly every day, and soon it will be every day.
Yeah.
So we try to offset that gas expense by boondocking here and there if it's going to be just a day or so. If it's so we try to save money, you know, where we can save money so that we can buy the gas, because the gas you have to buy.
Yeah, and even activities and things you do, you have to try to keep that in mind when you're budgeting, because you can't just go doing everything, because you do have expenses of gas and your stays and all these things. So you kind of got to keep it all pretty balanced.
$4.29 in Wasilla, Alaska. So that's a little pricey. That's for diesel, right? Is that for diesel? Because that's mostly what we're buying here is diesel. The Jeep takes gas, but we're not using the Jeep that much.
I know that's going to be a huge expense when we go to Alaska is the gas. So Alaska is going to definitely be our most expensive adventure.
We know that it's more expensive, but we do get to shop in the commissary on the base. We do get to find, you know, better prices for campgrounds, like being on the base. There are a lot of places too in Alaska you can boondock. So as long as the sun is hitting the top of our trailer and it's using the solar panels to charge our batteries, we're not going to need the air conditioner. And we do have a generator on board if we need to use the microwave. But otherwise, everything else is self-contained. So we should be able to, off the solar panels, be able to boondock for several days in a row before we need to find, you know, a bigger plug-in so that
we're
we
going to
can
have to
refresh
be really
our water.
thrifty with a lot of things,
Right.
so that we are able to share this adventure with you, because it's something we definitely want to do and we want to share it with you. So we'll do our best to be as thrifty as we can to make it all happen. And
another difference about
good.
the gas in Alaska, people may not really know this, but I didn't even know what marine gas or what boat gas was until I got to Florida. I'm like, what is this boat gas everybody's talking about? Why is that gas any different than gasoline that you put in your car? It's because it has ethanol in it. I'm like, what? Alaska doesn't use ethanol in their gas. I don't know why. I don't really care for ethanol. I don't think it's good for your motor. I don't think it's good for your lines, which is why marine gas doesn't have ethanol in it, so it doesn't eat at your stuff, the lines and whatnot. So it's, even though the gas costs more, you're getting better gas. You're getting real gas.
And if someone was asking if I use Fetch, I absolutely use Fetch. I was just talking about that earlier. I try to do all the little things you can do to get discounts and points. So I do use Fetch. I used to use Ibotta, but it didn't really. It's
a
not as
whole
good
lot,
as it was when it first started, and if you don't have kids and all that stuff, um,
You
it
gotta have a
doesn't
lot
pan
of
out as much.
receipts.
We did use Upside for a while as
We did.
well,
Mhm.
and we'll keep an eye out on that, but we don't use it as much right now. It's mostly just Fetch that I
Yeah.
continue to use.
Now, Upside, what I've noticed with Upside, it's normally the more expensive gas stations is the ones that it's trying to refer you to get a discount. Usually Shell and Mobil. These are expensive gas stations. I don't normally pick those anyway. I'm looking for Murphy's, Sam's Club.
Someone was
What?
asking if they could see all of my shirt and see down the middle it says family. I don't know if you can read it very well there. I can't read backwards right
It's
now.
a lot of words.
Help me, my shirt. My
It
shirt.
says have fun, be grateful, forgive, share, respect. This says fun, grateful, more, mistakes happen, express, love out loud, love, be happy.
My shirt was eating my face. I was gonna have to do cornholio. Anyway, let me quit being silly. Someone was asking also if we're gonna go visit the Ark on our way, and that's funny because we were just looking that up earlier.
About it today, actually.
Because that is something that's on my list too.
So we're headed to Ohio next. The Ark is beyond where we're going, so it would be a 6-hour drive to the Ark, and then we'd have to backtrack almost 5 hours in a northeasterly direction to get up to where we're going in Ohio. So we think that's kind of a negative directional. It's not really going to work.
Yeah, we
well.
might try to hit that on the way back.
On the way back would work nicer.
So I definitely want to go. They
Yeah.
have the Ark, and then they have
Mhm.
is it the Creation Museum that's near there?
Yeah, like 40 miles away, I was told. I haven't looked that one up.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be a phenomenal. Actually, a gentleman at the church this morning was telling us about it because he had been, and he said it was such a great trip, and you learn so much, and how touching it is. And that's something I had on my list anyway, so that just reminded me. So maybe on the way back, hopefully, we'll have to plan all that out. This year was kind of so everything just happened so fast and spur of the moment. The selling of the campground, everything
happens so
went.
fast.
It's interesting to see, and sometimes I say when you look back at things, you can see God's hand in so many things because there's no way different things could happen if it wasn't for the things God was doing. So I'm thankful that God is using us to do good things, and I hope we are able to share his love with everybody. Receipt jar. Oh no, I've never heard of that one. I'll have to check that one out.
Michigan's a little out of our way on the way to where we're going because we may go to Ohio and then over to South Dakota and up that way. We don't know exactly where we're going to cross yet.
We haven't been the best of planners.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, but we will. We'll have it all planned by the time we hit the border. So we still have a couple stops, but we're kind of in a hurry to get on up to Alaska a little bit. We want to stop and see her sister. But it needs to be kind of a short visit so we can get on up there because you only have a few months of good travel up there
and so much to see.
Right, and so much to see. So we have to kind of hurry up and get up there in a way. And we're going to stop and see some things along the way. Some of them I know what they are, and some I don't remember what they are. I may not have stopped. I know we're going to stop Watson Lake. I know they got the license plate thing. We're going to stop and see that because that's a tourist thing. You got to stop there. Laird Hot Springs is really cool. I want you to see that. You used to park across the street and walk in there for free, but now I've seen on the pictures online they've got it all fenced and gated, so now you got to pay to go in there. But it's okay. It's something you need to do once. It's awesome.
I hope so too, Gail. I did speak to my sister, and she was saying it might be because the post office has some strange hours. You might need to scroll that back through.
I have to scroll this back down. Keep talking.
They have some strange hours on those days, so maybe something like that
Thanks,
happened.
Tricky, for the 5. Ba-ba!
Oh, she's in Ohio too.
She is, yeah.
We'll have to check into that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they get that straightened out. It is a small town, so she should be able to talk to them about that.
And thanks for the two. I don't have a name. Pop. They said they bought it.
We bought a campground. We would love to host you at our campground.
Yeah. Where is the campground?
Yeah, if you can send an email to
email to us. Yeah.
to madammayorsadventures@gmail.com. And yeah, keep me posted, Gail, if you hear anything else about that. Hopefully it's nothing dramatic. Maybe just that they were closed or something. You never know.
Yeah. I grew up in Virginia, so I know about Monticello. I know about Williamsburg, Jamestown, Virginia Beach. We just don't have that much time before Alaska to linger around in Virginia long. We're staying with family here. I needed to get them in our tour, and then we're hitting her sister, and then we're heading on up. Now on the way back, we have plenty of time.
Yeah.
We're not looking to go back to Alaska next summer, so this is kind of a one time. At least this time it's one time. Maybe.
Well, we probably wouldn't do it back to back because
Yeah,
again,
not
it
back
is
to back.
super expensive.
And
so
there's other places we want to see.
yeah, there's a ton of other places we want to see. So we probably won't do that next season, but maybe far off into the future. You want to tackle another question?
Yeah, the gas mileage question. We get 11.5 miles per gallon when we're pulling a Jeep. That's not bad. If you drive it nice and keep it under 65, and in the hills it's a little less. So it's averaging on a flat road on the interstate, it's averaging 11.5 miles per gallon.
Someone asked if we saw the expert's 6-hour live. No, I
No.
didn't catch that.
No, we
I
didn't
don't
catch
even know
that.
what it was about.
Is there something we need to know?
Inquiring minds want to know.
About our lives at 4, we're trying to keep them at 4, but as we move further west and cross timelines, we'll update you if that's going to change. But right now it's still going to be 4 o'clock. If we get up to Alaska, we may have to bump it to 5, but we'll see. We're going to try to keep it consistent at 4. We will make the changes. We know if we're in the central time zone, we're starting at 3. We know if we're in the mountain time zone, we're starting at 2. We'll make that adjustment. So for you guys, it'll be 4 o'clock Eastern time unless otherwise stated. But right now, it'll stay 4 o'clock.
Adjust your fan 'cause it's annoying me. Excuse me.
She's making a fan adjustment.
It's too much on my face. It's driving me nuts. Okay.
Braves won in the 10th. Yay! I'll have to go back and see the highlights.
And someone asking, do you have spare tires for the RV?
Spare tires for the RV? No, we don't. They don't come with them. They put a size tire on there that's very common. It's an oversized truck tire. Doesn't mean that we shouldn't take spare tires, but we really don't have a place to put a spare tire. And then what rim are you going to put it on?
Hey, Willis.
Because we have 2 sets. It's one set of dualies. So it's a separate rim offset for an inner dually versus an outer dual. And the front tires are a different rim set. So you'd have to have a tire on 3 different rims. It's just not feasible. Now I could carry just an extra tire, just the rubber, to have it, but someone would still have to come out and put it on. They can't mount it on the road. So what Tiffin says is that tires are readily available. That's why we didn't provide it. You call for help, they bring it out, they put it on, done deal. I'm like, okay. So we're going with that. The Jeep does have a spare.
And then people were asking if we're going to change the time of our live because of the. Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Where the heck was I?
Sleeping.
Sleep at the wheel. I can tune him out very well. I didn't even hear you say anything. So what was your answer? I just came in on the scene. Can you tell me what's happening?
We're going to try to keep it at 4 o'clock until we get possibly to Alaska. Then it becomes a 4-hour time difference. Then we could push it to 5. Because we do like to still go to church. So if church is at 11, we get out at 12. That's when the live would be.
Okay, so it'll depend on the church
times. It'll depend
times.
on a few things, yeah.
But we'll keep you posted ahead of time.
We'll keep you posted. Right now it stays 4 o'clock.
Very good. Some people are asking, when did I change my name to Melissa?
Oh, Melissa. So can I start using Melissa?
I ain't gonna answer you because that's not my name.
Thanks, Tricky, for the 5. Pop, pop, pop.
Oh, she said her service dog and her would love to meet us if we're in Ohio.
Where in Ohio?
Yeah, what part of Ohio are you in? You can email me too if you want.
Yeah, you can email if you don't want to put it out here. I understand.
Um,
We're going to be in the southeast corner on the West Virginia border.
but yeah, so apparently
She's
there's
something,
somebody named Melissa that goes back and forth with the Jokalist, and the Jokalist thinks that
Is you.
Melissa is Madam Mayor, so, which is crazy. But that's, you know, me and Melissa are two different people.
Oh, she lives in Canton. I
So-
think that's up north.
That's kind of funny. But no, you can't call me Melissa because I won't answer.
Okay.
But Melissa might answer.
So if I'm mad at you, I can call you Melissa.
Well, I don't think that's going to work out very well. But
Someone wants to know what's our
I'll
plan.
just say, hi, Melissa, whoever you are.
What's our plan during inclement weather and tornadoes? I guess we have to watch out for that, but they don't have tornadoes north, typically, normally.
Nothing is normal.
Yeah, they come through the Midwest. They kind of start in Texas and Oklahoma and Iowa and Kansas. That's kind of tornado alley. We're going to be up, over, and above all that. So we should be getting up into. We're only going to be in Ohio a short time, a few days, maybe a week at the most, and then we're heading up north. So we'll be across into the Canada border, and there won't be any tornado threats up there.
And someone was mentioning Tug. And
Oh.
again, I had a great time talking to Tug. I think he's a great human being.
I like that interview.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
it was very nice talking to him.
Thanks, Mike, for the 5. Pop, pop, pop.
And I look forward to ever getting to talk to him again in the future. He's a very caring person, so I enjoyed that. He's pretty funny too. He is definitely super. And that's another thing. I'm just blessed to be able to meet so many people, so many good people.
Mhm.
It's fun to be able to talk to everybody. So that was a fun interview.
They said they have tornadoes in Minnesota. I didn't know they went that far up.
Don't you love Tug's song too? I know.
Oh
Brett does.
yeah, I love Tug's song. I can skip the part where the dog's falling out of the doghouse. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe I'm missing a joke there. But when it gets to the guy dancing on the bar, I'm like, oh, that's so funny. I love it.
Yeah, he does seem very compassionate, and you can just
He was very genuine.
feel
I thought
that
he was
he's
very
genuine, he's caring, and you can feel that when you speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely a good person to keep up with. So we definitely like Tug. So what's this about the mayor of Tubetown?
I don't know. I think that's still
The
in
match
the air.
is still on.
It's still on.
So someone wanted to know if I'm going to be running for the mayor of Tubetown next time.
Is there an election in
Is there an
Tubetown?
election?
You know Tubetown's a one-person town, right?
So I doubt he's going to allow me to run. And, you know, it's still in debate.
Yeah.
So we still have to have another match.
Maybe he'll come up in the chat.
Only one mayor.
Yeah, see right there. He said
He
only
says
one
only
mayor.
one mayor.
It's Tubetown, baby.
You see how everything changes? Because last I knew, he said we were the team of mayors.
Right, it's
But
a team of mayors.
he keeps changing the rules, guys.
He keeps
I can't
changing
keep
the
up with
rules.
it. So, and do I have to be a resident to be the mayor of Tubetown?
Aren't you always a resident of Tubetown?
You know,
That's what Tubetown's all about. It's a
Yeah.
town of YouTubers.
Tubetown, baby.
So if you're a YouTuber,
So,
you're a Tubetown resident, even if you're geographically separated.
yeah.
So she's the mayor of Tubetown.
So we're still in debate about this, you know. Good
Oh
fun.
yeah, we need to do a records request for his charter.
Yeah, Willis, get it
I think I'll
together.
have to get a lawyer.
I'm gonna have to do a records request. Do I have to email you for this records
Public
request?
records request.
Or how do we go about getting records from you, Willis? Do I have to request that on paper towel or 2-ply toilet paper?
I think it was side B, then go to side A.
That's for the application or the
Oh,
resume.
okay.
But maybe that's how we request the records too. So I don't know if I can afford that expensive paper towel to be doing these requests.
Right.
So he'll have to do some work before we get back to Tube Town. I can't wait to see what it looks like the next time we're there.
We live in the brush.
It's so much fun. Sue him.
That's what Russell said. Sue us. Sue us.
Yeah, some people were asking about are we gonna miss Don and Russell Suss while we're gone?
I'm still trying to understand. I mentioned it to Jeremy the other night. What is it exactly that Russell was trying to say when he came around, when he was the mayor, and he came around the table after the meeting, and he got in Jeremy's face and goes, "Your plumber called me personally." I'm like, so? Good. Good. So, but what's your point? It's like, okay, what's your point? He called you personally, and what?
I don't understand any of the things he
did.
does or
he's really missing
that
a few.
Don does. I don't know.
He's been drinking the water.
I really wish they would just stay home and let the good people who care about the town run it. Why are you causing problems sitting on a board? It's just shameful.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy paid for that pipe all the way back to his house, 1,100 feet. He paid for the 2-inch commercial sized meter. Doesn't mean it's a commercial meter. It's a commercial sized meter. It's an oversized meter.
The sad thing is, if anybody would have read the ordinance that they were passing with the new water billing procedure, they wouldn't have voted on it, because if you read it, none of it made sense. None of it jived. So absolutely none of the board members who approved it even read it.
They don't.
100%. Or if they did, they have no idea how to comprehend what they're reading, which is also another scary factor. So either you have people that are just voting blindly, not reading any of this stuff, or they can't comprehend what they're reading. One of the two, which makes it scary that they are sitting on a board.
I believe, I'm not sure, maybe you can correct me. I don't know if they received a grant to do it, but I heard they received funds to put in backflow preventers for all of the meters in the town, and that never got done.
I had heard that as well, and I don't remember how long ago that was written into the ordinances, but it's in there somewhere.
It is. I've read it. I
did read
the verbiage on it.
But for them, I guess, to do it now.
And guess how many backflow preventers are in that town? As far
Two
as
that
I'm
I know
aware.
of?
I've got 2, and Jeremy's got one big one. He may have put one at the schoolhouse. I don't know.
Probably, and so we all put those in on our own. But I did read it in an ordinance way back when that was supposed to be done.
But
So
this is kind of the dumb stuff that they would do, though. They don't read the ordinances. They only read the parts that apply to them if it's in their favor, but they don't ever read all of it in its entirety and make a decision based on the totality of it.
yes,
I guess is the word.
tongue twister.
So yeah, so when they set up in the program for the billing from the town, when they bill the residents, there's 2-tier billing. There's residential and commercial. But what they don't have is what they tried to do. They tried to do a 3-step billing inside of resident and 3-step billing inside of commercial, and they don't have it. They can't bill that way based on meter size. So
they shouldn't have even been breaking it down with commercial and residential, since the ordinance did not reflect that.
Right.
And they did a whole water study to use to guide them in that. And when Mr. Warm didn't pass, and I had been talking to him for the good month before the meeting to make sure everything was in place, because you only get one meeting a month. You want to make sure everything is good to go. so that you can do everything you need to do during that meeting. So I had been in contact with him about the ordinance and everything. And then when we get to the meeting, he wants to talk about, what about the water study? Like, I couldn't believe that this man, we've been talking the whole month, and then he just sabotages everything at a meeting on purpose. And he's charging the town for this service that he's not providing. He's just creating more money for himself. But the sad thing is, this water study was done before they wrote this ordinance that Laura Mott signed. And who was the attorney then? Mr. Warm. Did anybody read the study then before they passed this ordinance? They didn't even know there was one. And he's talking about getting another one. So I contacted the company who did it, and I got them to send it to me, and none of it jived with any of the stuff that they wrote in the ordinance. So they obviously didn't read that either. And the water study, again, it's more like a guided opinion of how they think you should be charging. It's the same as like the Attorney General's opinion. More opinions. There's just guides that give you a little input. But ultimately, when you're running things, you're supposed to take all this information and gather it up and make the best decision you can for the application that you're trying to put it on. So you have to think of the town.
You got to remember what the water study is. It comes from a bigger town. And so sometimes those, when you have 4,000 people or you have 100 people, things are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like meter sizes. Why? Why?
It's all about the money.
It is.
And, you know, a lot of people get greedy, and I am not about that. So you got to think of the people in the town, and you can't get greedy, but people get on power trips, they get greedy.
But look
It's
at the
a
money.
shameful thing that's happening across our country.
Look at all the other money that he wasted. He wasted $7,500 on pulling money from the wrong. Remember, he misappropriated $7,500 by pulling it out of the general fund, and it should have been pulled out of somewhere else.
It should have never been pulled out at all.
Right, should have never been done.
Because
They did a study that gave them no results, and they didn't do anything with it anyway.
And it wasn't voted on anyway.
Wasn't voted on anyway. So there's $7,500 he wasted
In the trash can.
in the trash can. And then how about the 2 times the town's been sued? And then they lost. They couldn't provide public documents.
That's all over public documents.
And it's both of them were. And
That's shameful.
And guess what? They had to pay the attorneys of the opposing people trying to get the documents. So there's another $5,000 pissed in the toilet. And then what about the previous lawsuit? Huh? Who knows how much that was? There's more money in the toilet.
And someone was saying that they like the new lawyer, Megan.
The
I
waste.
like her too. She's very professional. The only reason I did not vote for her, because I was trying to think of the town's money. So she was the more expensive choice.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason I did not vote for her. But I love her. I think she's great. I think she's doing a good job for the town. And some people are asking, well, why did Russell want her?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure
too.
about that. I would
was
like
like,
to know what angle he thought he was getting at.
Yeah, and they already knew each other. Because when she looked to him, she said, good to see you again, or something.
You know, in small towns, everybody already knows everybody.
She knew him.
But he might have thought because they have some kind of professional knowing of each other that maybe he was going to get some special treatment because of who his family is. I don't know what goes on in that man's head, and I don't think I really want to know. It's kind of crazy, but she is a great lawyer. I think she's very good for the town, and she makes good professional decisions, unlike Mr. Warm, who is only there for himself and his money and creating work for himself. So, and I knew Megan from, she was the litigating attorney that actually Mr. Warm referred us to handle the lawsuit with Jeremy, because Mr. Warm did not do litigation. So she was the one that we were using to handle the lawsuit. So we did get to speak with her and talk to her in that time. So she already was privy to what was going on and knew about the town and everything.
Why would you hire an attorney that doesn't do litigation? Isn't that kind of like buying car insurance to find out that when you're in a wreck, they're not going to cover you? I mean, that's the same thing. Now you're in a lawsuit. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to go. You're my attorney.
Well, I personally would have never hired Mr.
No.
Warm in the first
No,
place.
he was.
I was not impressed with him by any means.
He's the worst attorney I've ever even
If
heard
I asked
about.
him a question,
Ridiculous.
I'm asking a lawyer a question because they're a lawyer, they know the laws, you're paying them to look things up and do research for you, and this man would tell me, oh, go look up this statute. Well, if I'm going to go do all the lawyering myself, then are you paying me to be the lawyer?
Yeah, what do I need
That's
you
your
for?
job.
Mhm.
But he would always shoot it back at you and then do things that you didn't ask him to do to create more work for himself.
Yeah.
Even things that you specifically told him, no, I don't want any of that. He's still trying to do it and shove it at you anyway and then bill you
And then
for
put
it.
it on the bill.
And then at the bottom of the bill, there's a little asterisk basically for other things I've done with no description. I'm charging this many hours, and that's just how it is. And nope,
He didn't do
that's
any
not how it
itemized
is.
billing.
He did
That
do
blows my
itemized
mind.
billing, but at the bottom of the bill, he just wanted to
added
throw in
arbitrary stuff.
some hours with no detailed
discussion.
billing.
That's no.
And then when
billing.
you asked him about it,
he got
said
upset.
he got very upset and told him that we were asking for ridiculous things that nobody would ask for, and he started saying something about our anal dribble and very unprofessional, the things he said to me and Belinda. I was sitting there, I couldn't believe, I was so shocked that this man talked that way.
Some of the emails between Mary and Attorney Worm back before, a lot of them were very inappropriate. You thought there were two high school people flirting back and forth. It was really inappropriate.
Very catty.
And I wonder if he was billing for that.
Oh, I'm sure he was. Absolutely.
Ridiculous.
I'm sure.
You'll probably hear some of that in Jeremy's 6,000
She would start
emails.
emailing him about the most ridiculous things, and the little nicknames they had for everybody was just insane. I didn't get to see all those emails because there were so many of them, and unfortunately there was so much work to be done. And that was another thing, like I said, about different people calling the town hall and harassing town hall while we're trying to do important things with important deadlines. You had the jokeless calling and annoying, harassing
You're trying
people,
to get stuff done, and
you're trying to do important work
she's
for the
hanging you
town.
on the phone for 45 minutes at a
And
time.
she's just over there playing games. She don't care about that town. She don't care about none of it. She cares about herself and the attention she gets, and that's it. And that's sad. That's not what Otter Creek needs. They didn't need John and Michelle, and they don't need a jokelist. So there's already enough problems, and those problems can get fixed, will get fixed, without added drama from people that don't even live there. So
Don't get me started on Otter Creek politics. You guys have any other questions for us? We didn't have too many this week, and we've been on the road.
yeah, it's hard kind of preparing for different things when
It
you're on
is.
the road, but we're trying to do the best we can. I'm always hoping that we'll have internet at the different spots we're at to try to get the videos together and up for you, because I don't want to not be able to deliver on the schedule we have promised.
Yeah, the internet here is great.
Super
We
great.
don't know about Ohio yet, so we're going to try to find out before we get there.
Do you barbecue much? Well, we'll be barbecuing tonight, matter of fact.
As soon as we get off of
So,
this, we're barbecuing with
family barbecue.
with our hosts here. We'll be barbecuing.
I love it. Another person who just came in asking, where are you now?
We're in Walton's Mountain, Virginia. Schuyler, Virginia is the town. And to go back a little bit, if I can rewind, we did a there'll be a video about it, but the lady was kind enough to give us a personal walkthrough for the YouTube channel of the Walton house and her exact replica of their house, because she used to own it and sold it. So she made an exact replica and turned it into an Air or a B&B, and she's very busy. There's a museum right across the street. So, yeah, we went all through the house, did a lot of videos. She gave a lot of history about it and the characters. If you watch the Waltons. So there was a lot of neat stuff. And then we went to the church that he went to. I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah, I thought it was amazing. So that should be coming out. We don't know exactly when. We don't know which ones we're going to release. It really depends on how much time we have for the editing and which ones we think will be easiest to edit. So that's kind of how we still have a few from Key West to put up. We still have some from South Florida. We have this one.
I do want to go to Pennsylvania at some point.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's on our list.
But I forgot what else I was going to say. There's a few things. People were asking, are we going to be showing family members as we travel? I'm not going to make it a point to. I know when I visit my sister, I will be showing them, of course.
I think your sister has popped up
because
in Jeremy's videos.
she's been around. So, and some family members may not want to be on there. This is a special trip right now, so we're not going to be putting a camera around the family we're visiting here in Virginia. But in Ohio, I'm sure the camera will be around my nieces and nephews and my sister, so you can see them.
We might do a little funny skiff or something and make a video out of it. We don't know. We got to find out from them if they're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm sure she will be and they will be. So we'll probably show them, and maybe the next time we're in Virginia, if they're comfortable with it, they might pop in and say hi.
And there's a lot of things in Virginia I'd like to show Therese in Eastern Virginia, but we're not going that way. We came straight up and now we're going over and then northwest. So we'll be back in Virginia. We'll probably, when we come back down, come through Ohio again and Virginia, and maybe we'll hit Eastern Virginia, and we'll hit some of those tourist areas like Williamsburg and Yorktown, Jamestown. It's colonial Williamsburg. They have like a little mock city of the Civil War era with the fence, white picket fence and the old brick. It's pretty. And the University of Virginia is actually not that far from here, about 45-minute drive, and it's built on the site of Monticello, the original Monticello. So that's pretty neat. It's founded by Thomas Jefferson. I know a little bit of Virginia history.
And again, someone was asking if either of us have children. Yes, we do. I have a son. That's my only child. And we will be visiting him on the way up to Alaska. He does live in North Dakota. So I don't know if he'll be on the camera. He might say hi. We'll see. And Brett has children as well.
I have 3 that were adopted during a marriage, 1 from that marriage. So there was 4 kids that I raised. And then there was another child that was removed from me when he was very young. And I have since gotten back with him. And so we're in touch, and actually that's where we're at. So it's been very exciting. It's very exciting because my mom was chatting with him when she was alive. And she died, but she put him in touch with me. She kind of
set this up on her deathbed.
She set this up about a year ago, and we finally got to meet. So we hadn't seen each other. We'd seen each other twice when he was very young. He's now 29. So it's kind of amazing. We're staying on his property.
Yeah, so it's awesome meeting him and his, I call it his wife, and the children, and I feel so blessed. They're a wonderful little family.
Somebody's asking where all I was stationed. So in the States, I've been stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fort Hood, Texas 3 times, and Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So a total of 8, 3, of 11, 12 and a half years. The rest of the 23 years were overseas. So I did Turkey, I did Korea twice, I did Iraq twice, I did Kuwait once, and Alaska counts as an overseas tour too. So I did 2 of those, and I think that wraps it up.
And someone wants to know if you're still happy with the size of your RV.
I am. I like it.
I'm happy with the size of it. There's a few little things that, craftsmanship wise, that I don't think they did the best job they could have, but I guess you're going to get that with anything, and maybe at some point we'll make a little video about those little things. But the size of it, I'm definitely happy with the size of it.
I
There's
think
plenty enough room.
I think the drawer issue, by wrapping the electric tape around the aluminum bar, I think that worked all the way up here. We didn't lose any drawers, so that worked out better. The thing that most people probably won't like about this coach is that it has a Murphy bed. So there's not a bed that stays up all the time unless you leave it up. So this coach, I'm pointing this way because it's right here. The coach has a Murphy bed. So when the Murphy bed comes down, it's in the slide out. When the Murphy bed comes down, you have about 8 inches that you can slide to get around it to the bathroom. But if you put it up, you get a full-on couch and it has full access and you have lots of room. So if you don't mind putting a Murphy bed up and down, which we don't mind, then sometimes we leave it down. Like today, we left it down.
So what says, with the size of the RV, are you still happy with each other?
Yes, because you know what? If I'm unhappy with her, I go out the door, I get in the Jeep, go for a drive, get on the bike, go for a ride, go for a walk.
I mean,
it's
like
the
I
same
said
as in a
before,
house.
it's the same as in a house. And every couple, every relationship, you're going to have moments of where you're not getting along the best. And as a human being, even if you were just two friends that were around each other a lot, you have to have time away from each other too, and it's all how you handle things. But everybody needs a little break from everybody at times, and you can go for a walk and you can do all these things, but I don't notice that we've had any more issues. You just need to be patient with each other, and it's, you don't think me, you have to think of the other person too. So if you can get those things through your head and not be selfish, and then just communicate with each other to let them know what space you're going into and these different things, everything's fine. And you shouldn't be getting to a point where you're just angry anyway. But if you communicate well with each other, those things don't happen. Everybody's going to have sometimes little grumpier moments.
And we both
so you just need to drink coffee.
We both
or
have
something.
a good business sense, and we both we're a type A personality. So sometimes sarcasm creeps into a conversation. There'll be sarcasm, collateral sarcasm, more sarcasm. So we have that, but it's okay. I mean,
we're normal people.
We're normal people.
We don't. So, and sometimes, like I said, you just need time away from each other if you're getting crabby with each other. That's just normal stuff.
That's right. Relationship isn't 50-50. It's 100-100. That's right. You have to work together. Because if you work apart, then you're just pulling each other like this and you're not getting anywhere.
And nothing's perfect in this world. Everybody has stresses. So it's nice to have somebody you can work with, to have a team member. So I know a lot of things are disposable these days, but you have to learn to work with each other, because it's much better and you can have more when you're working together with somebody to do something.
Correct.
Of course, if it's not a good relationship and there's bad things going on, I don't recommend you trying to hang in there to save a few bucks or something like that, because I have heard stories of that. So, if it's bad stuff and rough, don't hang in there for that. But otherwise, it's, the world's only disposable if you allow it to be that way. You control a lot of things.
Yeah, marriage isn't a guarantee of success. It takes work.
Oh, yeah, work.
And that's with anything.
Lots of work. Yep, anything good takes work. So, it's all good. Who's the mayor of the RV?
Me. She thinks she is.
I've got a gavel somewhere.
Yeah, I got it.
Really? He's a little cookie.
Whoever gavels together stays together, right?
Is that what it is? So apparently we're in debate about this as well. So it's not just with Tubetown that debate is on, it's within the RV. So stay tuned for that.
How many stamps did you have to buy before they go out of date? I think we got a roll of stamps somewhere, actually.
No, before you got me to go out on a date, how many stamps did you have to buy?
None.
Don't be lying to these people. Lots of stamps. We still have a roll. We need to start sending out more cards.
No, we didn't take on any water in Otter Creek.
No, we stayed away from the Otter Creek water.
So Jeremy was nice enough to let us stay at the schoolhouse. We were right next to him, and he ran a cord through the window, and we had power, and we had enough water from our previous stop, and we didn't stay there too long that it lasted the whole time. So we came up here with dry tanks pretty much, and we filled when we got here. So we were okay.
Anything else?
I don't think so. You guys have anything else?
I don't think so.
It's time to go grilling, right?
Yeah,
She's mayor and the boss.
that's right.
I would say something, but it's not TV appropriate.
Then it's a good thing to just
I'm just gonna.
don't, as my Oma said, don't be stupid.
Stupid.
She said, don't be stupid.
Hey, we thank you guys for joining us
Yeah.
today.
It's been so
Um,
much fun talking to you. I
it
love
is
getting
fun.
the chance to talk to everybody.
I love the lives. You get
Yeah,
to talk to
I do.
people.
It's you guys are our new friends and family, and that's how I think of y'all. I appreciate everything you do for us, all the support you've given us. It makes my heart full anytime I get some good comments. Anytime you guys send us any of the super chats, I just love it. Any of the gifts we've received,
We'll
I
put 'em
don't
to
take
good
anything
use.
for granted. I appreciate every little thing, and I appreciate you guys staying in touch with us and following along on our journey. So stay in touch and keep taking care of each other, and just remember that we can all make the difference if we do good things.
Mhm.
We are the people.
That's right.
And-
Power of the people.
Show the love when you go around. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. We thank you guys for joining us, and y'all are in our hearts and in our prayers. And until next time,
Yep. Good night, John Boy.
good night, John Boy. Good night, Sue Ellen.